sellers, that happy music means it's time for this month's $100 SuperSize sales video. The sales I'm going to show you were posted on my Facebook group. We have a dedicated thread every month, so that's where you want to post your $100 or more sales for possible inclusion in this video. So we are going to jump right in with Linda Peters. Paid $5 at a local thrift store. It sat for a month with lots of watchers. I took an offer for $100 plus shipping. And the item is a Valentina woven leather tote bag. $5 and it sold for $100. Now, another purpose of these videos is to help you keep the faith in eBay. Everybody goes through slow times, but I'm showing you here that things are still selling for other people, maybe not for you, but be patient. Sales always come back. And even when I'm making these videos, I'm thinking, oh, okay, great. I'm so glad that person found this item. Look, she found this at a thrift store, where the word on the street is that, oh, I can't find anything at thrift stores. So you just have to keep looking. You just have to keep going. Nobody ever accomplished anything by giving up. That's one of the reasons I do these videos every month, is to help you stay confident and to help you keep the faith that eBay works. So we're going to move on to Tina Gifford. I got these Bible commentaries from the Salvation Army for $7, listed them for $120. Took a best offer of $105 plus shipping. Took about 6 months to sell. The item is a lot of 14 new international biblical commentary books, New Testament commentaries. $7, sold for $105. Carol Hollis, sourced from Facebook Marketplace for $30. Sat in my death pile for a while because I didn't have any coffee to grind. Finally got coffee and everything checked out. Sold for full price around 3 weeks after listing. This is a KitchenAid Pro Line Burr coffee grinder. So, Carol, I guess you need to keep more coffee on hand so when you find a grinder, you can test it. Okay, moving on to Joyce Bodenhammer. Goodwill find for $6.99. Sold for full price within 2 days. One Direction backpack. Harry Styles, Liam Neal, Louis Zarin. Those are the guys in One Direction. Backpack. $7, sold for $109. Okay, Allie Curtis bought several pairs of these Vivo barefoot shoes on the Whatnot app at $55 a pair. They've been selling very well for me. These sold for $110 plus shipping from an offer from buyer. So I have not heard of this brand. Maybe you have not either. Vivo barefoot suede sandstone leather chukka boots. $55, sold for $110. Louis Prizzi has a classic item. Purchased for $10 at Savers, listed for $124.95, accepted a best offer of $110 after about 4 days. This is a set of 4 pieces of Pyrex green and white spring blossom nesting bowl set. And I will say that I think thrift stores, estate sales, they're on to the Pyrex. So I am very surprised that this slipped through and was in the Savers thrift store for only $10 for the set. And he flipped it in 4 days for $110. So this is an example of, you never know what you're going to see out there. Don't assume that thrift stores know everything or that they catch everything. Who knows? The employee that put these out maybe had no idea what they were. Maybe it was this person's first day and they didn't know. They just stuck it on the floor for $10. So we love those kind of employees on their first day. I'm just guessing. I'm just making up a scenario because you just never know. Okay, Ashley Duval sold in less than a week for full asking price. I don't remember exact cost of goods, but it was under $5, maybe $2. I love coming across Dimensions Gold Collection kits. So the item is Dimensions Peony Tapestry Needlepoint Kit. And she said it was less than $5 and she sold it for $112. Okay, Diane Stumpf. I was super excited when I walked around the corner of my local thrift store and saw this stunning 18-inch prowling panther. It was $10 and I was ready to grab it. Then I noticed the break. It had a repair where the tail met the foot. I was gutted. I went back and forth trying to decide if I should get it. In the end, it went in my cart. I listed it for $129.99, fully disclosing the flaw. It sold while on sale 7 months later for $114.39. I think this gamble paid off. The item is Vintage Prowling Panther Figurine, 18-inch, mid-century modern 1960s. So $10 turned into $114.39 a few months later. Suzanne Wagner purchased at a garage sale for $2 and sold for full asking price plus shipping less than 2 weeks after posting. This is a Disney Alice in Wonderland paperclip holder. Mad Hatter with the March Hare purple teacup. Okay, really? $115 for a paperclip holder? Well, it's because it's Disney. She doesn't say if it had a date on it, so maybe it's an older item or maybe there just weren't very many made, but $2 sold for $115 for a paperclip holder. Now, if that doesn't get you excited about eBay, then I just don't know what else to do. Okay, Andrew Silveroli won in a local online auction for $3, accepted best offer of $115 after only a couple of weeks. This is an Elite Platinum pressure cooker, new with no box. $3, sold for $115. Here we have Ken McNamara with a non-pot or pan item. $16 sold for $116. Thrift store find sold in 4 days. The item is J.B. Dillon black goatskin leather western cowboy boots, men's size 12D. 16 sold for $116. Next up is Colleen Olson. Found these for $5 at a garage sale. They sold overnight for full asking price. New Beats by Dre wireless headphones. Wow, $5 at a garage sale. And they sold for $119.99. Sam Denton had a pretty good week. Started off by selling this on best offer at $123. Picked it up for $8 at a thrift store and sold in less than a month. Martha Pullen Pleater English Smocking Machine with needles, box, and instructions from 1983. Nice. $8 sold for $123. Jody Clark paid $50 at a thrift store for about 15 pounds of Legos. I already sold the rest of the pieces and minifigs for $100. So this Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin, the final showdown, was all profit. The box was in really bad condition. It was missing a few pieces to include the Spider-Man minifig, and Green Goblin's face was scratched up. Sold in 3 weeks on offer to Watcher for $123.20 plus $18.50 shipping. So there you can see the Lego item. Nice sale, and I commend all of you that deal with Lego because I just don't have the patience for it. So you can have all the Lego in the thrift store. Okay, Bill Hunt sold this duck decoy for $124.93. I got it at an estate sale for 20 bucks. Took about 15 days to sell. Duck decoy by John Gayworth. Ducks Unlimited. Mallard. So you can see the green head. It is a mallard duck. $20, sold for $124.93. And here's Casey with an item we don't normally see him sell. Ralph Lauren comforter. Okay, he said, from my bedding death pile, sold for $125 after a few months. I didn't expect this to sell during the hot summer months, but I'm happy to see it go now as they take up quite a bit of space. So the pattern is Danielle Marcel, and it's red floral. He didn't say how much he paid for it, but I'm sure it wasn't very much. Sold for $124.95. So yes, Casey, you too can sell bedding like the others. It's not always electronic things that we have no idea what they are. Okay, Sharon Granlund. I bought this sweater at an estate sale 4 years ago for $5. I wore it one or two times, listed a year ago. This sold on offer to buyer for $125. The item is Aaron Crafts, that's the brand, women's Irish cable knit cardigan sweater merino wool. Beautiful, wonderful find. I love finding those Irish wool cable knit sweaters. And sometimes they go back to the UK where they were made. So $5 and sold for $125. Dawn Cutright Taylor purchased at an estate sale for $20. I was able to buy two of them. This was listed for around 4 months. 1940s Japanese moving rickshaw black lacquer music box. At first I thought it was like a buffet for the dining room, but it's a small item. You keep whatever you want in there, I guess, but it's a music box. So $20 and sold for $134.99. Tiffany Takau got this buoy for free from the ship that my husband works on. Listed for $150 back in March, and it sold today for $140. My Frankenboxing looked pretty crazy, and I covered it all with white poly mailer bags. So this is a USACE Dredge Yakina Orange Ring Buoy, 1988. And I always thought these were really more decorative than functional because they're just old-fashioned, but apparently they still work. Um, this kind of thing I would sell as a decorative item or, vintage home decor, something like that. I get a little nervous selling any kind of safety item because of the liability, but this is vintage. She's got that in her title from 1988. So free and sold for $140. Bevan Dunn, the queen of the javelinas. That's what I called her on our podcast a while back because she is in Arizona and she was talking about javelinas and I didn't even know what they were. But she was like, yeah, they're all over my front yard. So I gave her that name. Anyway, she said, given to me from a friend for helping them out. It was his grandmother's. I about fell over when I saw it. It had some condition issues due to age, all disclosed, but the buyer was really happy. Sold for $145 in about 5 months. The item is a vintage 1950s velvet Mexican circle dress um, with the top. Beautiful, beautiful item. $145, and she got it for free. Next up is Kim Womack. Listed about 2 weeks. Paid $30 on Facebook Marketplace, but knew it would sell based on the comps. Sold for full price of $149.99. This is a Jim Shore Halloween wicked through and through hidden witch scene with the box. $30, sold for just under 150. KC has another one. I thought these shoes looked like they were from Target, but was quite surprised to look up the comps. Paid $8 at a thrift store and sold for $150 after receiving an email offer. Sold in about 5 days. These are Moo Moo, M-I-U, crystal jeweled distressed blue denim sneakers. Another item I've never heard of. $8, sold for $150. Stephen Gittler bought 7 vintage gloves at an estate sale a week ago for about $3.40 each. This was the best of the bunch, so I auctioned it starting at $14.95. Rawlings Stan Musial personal model first baseman glove sold for $187.50. And here is our cover item. Holly Johnson. My mother is moving and downsizing her house. She gave this keychain to me and it is so cute. I wanted to keep it and use it. Then I looked it up and saw what it was worth. It paid for one of my daughter's college textbooks. I accepted an offer of $190 after 2 to 3 weeks. This is a Brahmin Schooner Medallion Mini Purse keychain. So it's just a little bitty keychain, and based on my research, these come with the Brahmin bags, kind of like a fob, but it's actually a detachable keychain. So that was a nice surprise. Brett Stewart bought at Goodwill a year ago. Finally listed this a month ago and got full asking price of $199.99. This is a painting, oil painting, Snowtop Mountains, Lake Trees, Cabin Retreat by Daniel. So I don't know if this is a famous artist or if it's just some average person who signed their name Daniel, but this sold for just under $200. Janine Allen Joyce. When Goodwill marks up a Louis Vuitton knockoff beside this beauty. Couldn't find comps for low for Madler, so I priced high. Paid $5.99, sold for $199 in about 2 months. So the item is Loewe. I'm guessing that's pronounced low. Handbag, leather croc print. So yes, Goodwill loves to do that. They love to put high prices on like Walmart items with price tags, and then sitting right next to it is some valuable vintage or lesser known item. So always a thrill of the hunt. Okay, Tammy Hickey bought at a garage sale for $8, brand new, never opened, listed high in line with other comps for sale. Decided to take the quick sale with a $200 offer after 2.5 weeks. This is Capillus Ultra 82 laser cap for hair regrowth. So that begs the question, was it in the garage sale because it doesn't work? Oh, it says it was brand new, never opened. So who knows? Someone's going to take a chance on it. $200 to grow some new hair. I hope that buyer is successful. Allie Curtis went to a garage sale and purchased several items. They had so much. I went back later that day and purchased more. While I was packing up my items in my car, the lady told me to take more boots for free. So I picked out a few pairs and went on my way. I did not have cell service, so I couldn't look anything up. Come to find out, these boots retail for $600 to oh no, from $600 to $1,500. These free pair of boots sold on offer from Watcher for $200. This was the second pair I sold. The item is Heritage Boot Company, Austin, Texas, men's cowboy western brown leather boots. Wow, that looks like a valuable item. Great sale. Robin Parsons sold in a week. Previously used for Amazon, included a barcode scanner, sold for $225. This is a Dymo label writer thermal printer. Very good. Sherry Ogden, a nice way to kick off September. Technically, this sold in August, but the buyer paid in September. I bought this vintage teapot set for $12 at my local thrift store. Comps were all over the place, so I just picked $200. I sold it on auction for $200, but the buyer never paid. Relisted it and sold it for $242.50 plus shipping. Pink tea sets seem to sell well. This is a vintage Sadler pink and gold teapot creamer sugar from the 1940s. That is so pretty. Brenda Ray paid $70 at auction, sold for full asking in 36 hours. The item is Surefire X300. Looks like a camera lens. So $70, sold for $280. George Kelly found this vintage license plate topper at an estate sale for $10, sold at auction for $281. Vintage Vero Beach, Florida license plate topper, aluminum. $10, sold for $281. Moving on to Jay Moore. Bought this phone and another like it for $20 each at a local auction. Sold as not having the keys to the lockbox. Buyer took back cover off to hang on her wall, and inside the keys were taped. She found a few silver dimes inside. This is a old-timey payphone, GTE automatic electric public rotary dial payphone. $20, sold for $299. Karen Goodner Monks, husband paid $45 at a garage sale, unmarked, but a Facebook group led him to the right info. 7-day auction went for $394. This is a Tucher and Walther machine. Okay, it's a bunch of German words. And it is a steam engine factory. Wow. I thought it was a Lego thing, but I guess those dots are just part of the design, not Lego. $45, sold for $394. Karen Layton bought for $2 at a yard sale and sold in 4 days for full asking. Vintage 1972 Magnavox Odyssey complete gaming system in box. $2, sold for $400. Okay, Bill Hunt. This is my biggest sale to date. 4 life-size nativity figures. They cost me 0. They were donated to my church, but the church decided they couldn't use them, probably because a couple of pieces were unfinished and it was an incomplete set. So, knowing I am a reseller, a friend who works at the church gave me a call. Price wise, they are much reduced from their true value, but I needed to move them, and the buyer had to drive 3 hours to pick them up. They took about 4 months to sell. So there you see life size nativity figures. These were free, and Bill sold them for $400. Carlos Chavez. I got this Super Mario Legend of the Seven Stars for Super Nintendo in a private pick. Cost me around $20, listed for $499.99, and it sold after a couple of days on best offer for $450. I love how Carlos is doing private picks. And guess what, Carlos? I am copying you. I love that business model of just buying outright from people. So, $20 into 450 in just a couple of days. And we're going to end with Kim Crump. Paid $1 for this statue, listed for about 10 months. This is a vintage original Native American signed sculpture by Doug Hyde, sold for $999. Kim did not say where she got it. I would love to know that. But here's proof that valuable things are overlooked everywhere, or we would not even have this video. Okay, we've made it to the end. Thanks for sticking around. And thanks to everyone for posting your sales and sharing your wisdom, because we all learn from these posts. I'll be back next week with the seller shout out. Make it a great week on eBay, everybody. Bye.